Hello, gentle viewers. This is Ab Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 23 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. In our last episode, we went ahead and made a couple of fairly minor changes to the lineup, but I think possibly still notable ones. First of all, we made Ernesto Turner our full-time DH. We said goodbye to Mike Iglesias in the off season, and we added a new center fielder in Franklin Verdine, who at least looks like he'll be a good average guy with a lot of speed, and if the rest of his game can be fairly strong, we'll get a pretty good player out of this. All it cost us in the end was a player we weren't going to keep anyway, Jesus Solano, who very badly declined after his injuries. So, our rotation has a new member as well. Mr. Julio Mifflin was acquired in the offseason from Nashville. Mr. Mifflin, of course, is a left-handed starter, which we haven't had in a while, with a nice cutter curveball changeup that I think will do him very well against pitchers that use batters use either hand. And he's been really good so far at controlling opponent hits. He is a bit pricey. We did have to pay him arbitration, but I think he might be worth it. All he cost us in the end was Victor Rios, whom Nashville then promptly non-tendered in free agency and passed over to the Cardinals, who gave him a one-year deal to see if he can stick as a starting pitcher. Our bullpen also has some slight changes and possible upgrades. We have, first of all, Mr. Joe Camp back in the stopper role, where he was so incredibly valuable to us the last few seasons. I'd like to keep him there if we can. But I also understand that he will be a free agent and probably wants to get paid an awful lot of money, which he clearly does. I'm not willing to pay that much, so if we're out of it, I'll probably trade him, but if we're not, then we'll just move on. Jose Brown has been converted into a reliever. Although he has been a good starter in the past, he's very badly losing his velocity. And I am concerned about his ability to be a top-tier starting pitcher. Because typically once the velocity starts to go, it goes very, very quickly, and then he's not going to be nearly as effective. We have Mike Brinkman back for hopefully a full season of lots of pitching quality. We have a decision to make on Mike Grasham, who is also going to be a free agent at the end of the year. And who maybe is proof that I maybe should have given Victor Rios another chance. But he is already 37, so again, the idea of bringing him back is even less attractive to me than bringing back Joe Camp. But we'll figure it out. We brought in Winton Julian to be our new lefty killer, and I have very high hopes for him. And that cost us Omero Spineo and Tony Lujan, although really the prize that's going to be Willie Apodaca, who we think could be a very powerful hitter in the future. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have Ignacio Lopez, who we signed as our one free agent, who initially was brought in to be a starter, but looks like he'll be a pretty decent reliever as well. We did not have a very busy offseason in terms of signings, but we're getting to the point where what we most need is just more time for our best players and talents to develop, and that's what's going to get us to our next big core. We've also decided this will be the last year of Manny Pozo. Mr. Pozo is only on a one-year contract, and provided that he gets his 3,000th hit, which seems very, very likely indeed, we'll probably let him go. We're already in a position where Mr. Mike Soto is going to be playing every day against left-handed pitchers, and with the idea that he'll take over at third base for Manny Pozo at the end of this season. Other important decisions we have yet to make. So we're losing potentially most of our starting rotation. Ty Sims might opt out of his last year. We have no way of knowing that. But we also have Mike Brinkman, Sean Hill, Mike Grasham, and Jesus Calderon, all of whom are getting ready to potentially leave us. We have a lot of money that we could use for extensions, so I could keep as many of these players as I want to. I seem to be very cautious. Sean Hill is probably the most concerning of our options here because he can be very productive at a very high level. He's got nice amounts of power, really good plate discipline, and doesn't strike out as much as you'd think for a player of his caliber. That's all wonderful. But keeping in mind the $8 to $10 million a win, and let's say it should be $8 million a win, then we shouldn't really pay him more than about $30 million. And even $30 million seems like it's a bad risk in the long term. He's fragile, and granted, he's only missed a significant chunk of one season. If we look at his past career, he's missed games, but not as many as you might fear. And he's been a good producer every year but 2058. So the question is 2058 going to come back? Because if it does, and we give him a big new contract, it's going to bite us in the ass quite severely. He wants $30 million a year. And if I'm honest with you, I don't know if peak Sean Hill is worth that much money. I don't know if sophomore year Sean Hill is worth $30 million a year. You'd have to think I can find a different first baseman who can provide something like the same level of talent. Maybe it's John Navio. Maybe he gets a chance at first base next season. I don't know. What I do know is it's unlikely I would keep Sean Hill either. I just don't think it's a good risk to pay a player like this for all of his incredible talents $30 million a year. He's not a generational talent like Henry Salgado. He's not quite as good as Jordan Munoz because he doesn't hit for a great average. So that leaves me with some pretty deep concerns. Rogelio Aguinaga is going to get an extended stay in the minor or majors, and he might end up taking over one or more positions himself in the near future. All this is to say, while I'm very happy with the team that we have now, it will not likely be the same team next season. We're going to see some pretty big changes, I think, one way or the other. What does Grasham want to come back? He wants $19 million. Are there any signs that Grasham is declining? He's lost like a tiny sliver of velocity, but he also gained one because initially didn't throw this hard. He appears to be trending in the right direction. I think I might just do a whole bunch of compensation eligible stuff and then see what happens. We might be in for a dark year or two, though, as we're going to be struggling mightily to keep even most of this team together. Because everyone's going to want giant raises that I'm just not willing to give them. But let's not worry about that now. Let's worry about making the best team we can for this year and letting some of our talented prospects continue to develop with the hopes of replacing one or more players early next season. I will say for the record that Ernesto Turner is only getting this shot because he's older than Aguinaga. But Mr. Aguinaga may have a very quick path to regular playing time if he hits like he did in the minors, and especially if Ernesto Turner gets off to a slow start. Which Turner showed me last season is enough for him to get a real opportunity to be our DH, but I do just want to acknowledge that that may not be an all-season kind of thing. he may very well end up being replaced by Aguinaga in the not too distant future. It is also worth noting that Aguinaga does struggle a bit with left-handed pitching, so possibly platoon role is a better fit for him. I'm not sure. I am not sure. We're also playing Sean Hill, actually. You know what? Slight change of plans. Mike Soto, you're going to be starting first baseman against against left-handed pitching. Or not right-handed pitching. Sean Hill's awesome against righties. I meant left. Oh, I can't because yes. Okay. Let's let Hill play the whole season and just see what he can accomplish, and then make adjustments as we see fit. We've gotten a lot out of Sean Hill, though. I mean, for a first overall draft pick, a first-round draft pick that was picked at the very end of the first round, we've gotten quite a bit of production out of him. So I'm pretty happy about that. All right, let's go ahead and play some baseball games. We lost Xavier Goodwin and Franklin Grady. Our team is now doomed. Utterly, utterly doomed. Maybe I just seem to change my perceptions and be willing to pay a little bit more. But I just have this sneaking suspicion that I can probably get somebody as good, if not better, for a whole lot cheaper. And I still don't have, like, the Yankees payroll, right? And Andres Ariano also got claimed. That's fine. That's fine. Because if you take a quick look here, right, we only have the number 10 payroll in the league. And despite our ridiculous success, that seems a little silly to me. One last thing I wanted to point out, which I think is both very realistic and very frustrating, is that in previous versions of OOTP, your market size would increase too over time, which is just silly, right? That's not how markets work. Like, yes, you can tap in more to an existing market, but you'll never be able to totally break through that. So, I've got quite a bit of money. We're starting to make a whole bunch of profit, which will make the owner happy. But I'm really curious to see what will... It's also... I mean, we're going to make $12 million in profit, so that'll make the owner happy. But yeah, we will have a long, hard think about what to do next season at the end of this episode. So let's advance forwards and baseball away. Rubio and Corral can both go to the minors. Amazing. What is your deal? Oh, are you a major league person? Oh, you just flat out refuse? Maybe you should try sucking less then. Wow, this is like an all-time record for... Oh gosh, I need a new reliever too. Oh gosh, you suck. Yeah, Jose Rubio, I'm gonna get rid of you. Literally any offer, otherwise I'm just going to cut him. It'll make the fans a bit sad, but they'll get over it, I'm sure. I'm waiting for there to be that one off season where there's really premium talent that I can really invest in. Because it's been a while since we've had that opportunity. Ty Sims is probably our last big swing in free agency. The truth is that teams are just getting a lot better about keeping their young talent. We're not seeing players in the 20s hit free agency unless there's something deeply, deeply wrong with them. It's also a result of our league rules giving you 4 years at league minimum salary plus 3 years for arbitration. Unless somebody comes up very, very young. Hey, 3,000 hits from Manny Pozo. Amazing. But yeah, unless something really drastic happens like that, then you're kind of in some trouble. Ty Sims is getting a bit worse. Otherwise, it's like jumping around. Yep, Mike Grasham is continuing to lose velocity. Sean Hill is getting worse. Henry Salgado is about the same. Jordan Munoz has lost a little bit of his bloom. Franklin Verdine, though, has gotten a tiny bit better, which is great. Sponder Avishon is slowly improving to the point where I might even consider pitching him at some point. Very cool. 3,000 hits for Manny Pozo. Aw, yeah. I mean, we lost the game, but that's alright. Where does that put him on the all-time Pirates leaderboard? In terms of number of hits. Like, I know Roberto Clemente got exactly 3,000 hits. I know that was, like, a big thing about him. Because he died in the plane crash not long after he got that. Registers. No, I want leaders. Here we go. Yeah, if Manny Pozo gets one more hit, he will overtake Roberto Clemente and be have made the most hits in history for a Pittsburgh Pirate, which is pretty awesome. He already leads them in runs and at bats and games. He's second all time in WAR. I don't think he's going to catch up to Honus Wagner. That seems pretty unlikely to me. He's not in the top 10 for OPS, but that's fine. He's just a really damn good player for a very long time. I mean, in every sense of the word now, Manny Pozo is Mr. Pirate. He's at the top of the doubles leaderboard. Not the top of the singles leaderboard, but that's alright. He's second all-time in homers as a Pirate. I don't think he's catching Willie Stargell, though. That seems highly unlikely. Henry Salgado already racing up the board. That's pretty awesome. Ribbies, he's third. Walks, he's second, only to the amazing Garrett Gunnels. Number 2 all-time getting hit by a pitch. I remember Jason Kendall very clearly. Number 1 for strikeouts. That's not as good as some of the other things. But yeah, he is, in all sense of the word, one of the best parts to ever play Major League Baseball. Which is saying a lot for a franchise as storied and as long-lasting as the Pirates have been. I mean, he's never going to catch up to Honus Wagner, but then Honus Wagner isn't just like one of the best Pirates of all time. He's like one of the best players of all time, period. Chris Barnhart having him... Chris Barnhart has really carved himself into a fairly nice... role in his later career in the Indies, and I appreciate that. For $250,000, I could bring him back. Wouldn't that be something? I don't know what, but it would be something. Again, I'm not going to look at individual stats. We're just going to go ahead and go through another month so we get a better sense of what the team's actually good at and what it's not so good at. Okay, Julio Mifflin will miss 2 weeks. Let's go ahead and put him on the IL. Because I do want to give some pitchers some meaningful time in the majors. And that means actually giving them a chance to start every now and again. So we're going to go ahead and call up Mr. Do I want Jeremiah Rhodes or do I want Avishon? Probably Rhodes, because Rhodes throws harder, which means if he makes mistakes, it's less likely to bite us in the ass. So let's give him an opportunity. Ignacio Lopez will end up... Actually, Lopez could be a starter. I like Rhodes in the role a little bit better because I do want to let the youngster get some more time in, but we'll see what happens. And if necessary, we'll upgrade at our 5th starter. Okay, Calderon wants very little money, so I am all in on bringing him back. This is an easy choice. Not even 1/10 of a second of hesitation there. I just don't see any sense in bringing Pozo back, even as Mr. Pirate. I just don't see a lot of upside to keeping him around. Unless I desperately need to. I wouldn't mind keeping you either. Okay, $7.5 million. I will freaking make this work. Let's get a team option in there just in case, but I will absolutely take that offer. Because even if Gresham turns out to start declining, I can put him in the bullpen and he'd be pretty awesome at it. Do I want to let Pozo retire as anyone other than a Pirate? Is that really what I want? I don't think I can let it happen. I think he's got to retire as a Pirate. If he just ends up being like a bat off the bench, he's a bat off the bench. That's fine. But I don't see how I can let a franchise icon leave when he's not asking for giant sums of cash. Alright, we got Pozo back, we got Gresham back, and we got Calderon back. All very inexpensively. Now, I do know that Gresham is declining a little bit. He's already losing ticks off his fastball, but he's got so much to go with that I'm really interested to see. That gives us a little bit more stability, too. But Calderon is a bargain at any price just because of what he can offer us and the fact that I can also kick him into the bullpen if I need to. So let's go ahead and advance in time a bit more. Because maybe Mike Soto's future isn't at 3rd, maybe it's at 1st. And I like the flexibility of letting him play multiple positions because it'll just make him more valuable and more useful to the team. Okay, we can have Julio Mifflin back. How has Jeremiah Rhodes done in his 3 starts? Pretty bad. Hasn't allowed any homers. Struck a bunch of people. He's just gotten hit pretty hard. That's still not terrible, though, and it's valuable in-game experience that he'll take with him for the rest of his life. Now, get back in there, Mifflin, and get people out. I said get people out. There we go. Maybe he really does want to try to stick around long enough to break Honus Wagner's record. I mean, I don't think that's possible unless he plays for another 10 years at a pretty high level. But maybe he's going to be like the first player to play in his 50s regularly. Like, sure, there's Satchel Paige and a couple others that did play at the age of 50. And Bartolo Colon was pretty old when he retired, but... yeah. Ooh, 300 saves for Tinch. Very nice. Very, very nice. Alright. Who, my dear, is May's top pitcher? It is Juan Espinosa of Washington. Well, I mean, they've had him for a few years now. I don't begrudge him his success. As long as it's not coming at my expense. That's all I care about. How are our top prospects doing? None of them have actually played games yet this season. That's a bit awkward. Oh, you're all in rookie ball, I think, or short season ball. Yeah, I'm not going to rush any of you. I'm just going to let you do your thing. Alright. So first things first, we have a really freaking good lineup. We're not good at stealing bases. I'm sorry, but we're really good at hitting base walls. Our pitching staff is incredible, especially this bullpen that we've put together. Team chemistry is off the charts. And, yeah. About the only player who's actually disappointing offensively is Joe. But Joe still has that elite plate discipline that is always going to be his calling card. Henry Salgado is back. Franklin Verdine has filled in nicely as a top of the order guy. He's not producing a ton of value, and that's just because of his skill set. He basically needs lots of doubles and triples to get a decent slugging percentage. And in addition, oh dear, he's not a very good center fielder. That might get better, though, because he is very, very fast. Interesting. Okay. We'll see what happens with that. Hill is doing great. Love it. Good season out of Salgado and Munoz and Turner. Turner has got him some thump, which is always very appreciated. Manny Pozo is having a very, very solid season. Getting on base, hitting for power. You love to see it. If we look at our real Warriors, how are players like Mike Soto doing? Mike Soto is doing wonderfully. He's showing that bat that's going to get him a job in the majors permanently sooner or later. Yeah. If anyone's disappointing, it is Verdine, only because I expected him to be better defensively. I'm hoping he gets better and really starts cranking doubles, because that's going to be the key to him being... that's in between him being, like, a good player and an all-star. Is going to be him racking up 40-plus doubles a season. And getting plenty of triples to go along with it. So, I'm very happy with the team as a whole. I don't really see any obvious areas that we could improve in just yet. So let's let the good times roll and just keep it going. I could bump Joe to the bottom of the lineup. Let's take one very quick look at something here. Okay, not his OPS. That's just going to make me sad. Yeah, he is not hitting at all this season. I'm going to trust him to ride out this cold streak and start hitting better. Yeah, let us proceed in a forward direction. I did not know that about Rod Crew. I didn't remember that Rod Crew's still alive in 2002, so there you go. I don't mind giving up Esteban Stovall. Let's figure out, though, what we would actually get. Angelo Longoria is a big fat nothing burger. There's nothing about him that is even remotely intriguing. The new Kazuhiro Ishii is also deeply, deeply unimpressive. So, I'm going to say rejected. Once you have the first week of July, I'm also going to take a look at some of those higher tier prospects and maybe think about promoting them. Because I don't want to get stuck in rookie ball where they won't be getting regular plate appearances to really show how they can improve and get better. I guess improve and get better mean the same thing, but that's fine. That's fine. We could use a series against the Cardinals where we just, like, tear them up. That'd be good. Oh, damn. That's a lot of close games we just lost there. I really want to win that division if we can. Missing the wild card series would be ginormous. It gives a chance to rest up, and it would just put us in a better position, all things considered. Sims is declining. Osorio is getting better. Mifflin is getting better. Gresham is becoming craftier in his old age. I approve of that. Mario Servine's getting a bit better. Sean Hill is getting a little bit better. Almaguer is getting better. Freddy Suarez is getting better. Ernesto Turner is getting better. Henry Salgado is getting even better somehow. Jorge Munoz declined slightly. And then, Ishmael Olvera added a pitch and is throwing harder. That's very interesting. It puts him into borderline starter territory. That's very exciting to see. Avishan got better. Masakimi Fuji got better. He's throwing harder. Very good news indeed. Cool. Since it is now July 1st, let us quickly see. I kind of want to promote anybody hitting well to the higher league. John Navio is now my number 3 prospect. Okay, cool. Yeah, Sal, let's get you up to at least short season ball to get more regular playing time. Xavier Easton, I don't mind you getting a little more experience just because you're so young. But Becerra seems like he could be something truly special, so I want to be a little bit more aggressive with him. Why is Sal Becerra's nickname the Japanese Babe Ruth when he's not Japanese? And he's a catcher. You know what? I'm not going to question it. I am not going to question it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Who is Sims, and why do I keep being, like, informed about him? Oh, because he's doing well against me. So, interesting question now. Sean Hill is having one of his very best seasons already. Can I afford to let him go if he's playing at this high level? I don't want to keep him for a long time unless I'm sure he's going to produce at a high level. But I think he's earned at least a 4-year extension with us. And I like that he has a vesting option in year 4. I love it. I don't even care about the money as much as I care about the years. Okay, he's really insistent on getting plenty of years. Yeah, he wants that the 6th year and the 7th year. I'm gonna wait and talk to him later. It's not worth the risk right now. Any other free agents might want to lock up? Mike Brinkman, I just don't think you're worth it. Okay, $9.5 million, easy, done. I will bring you back for a couple bucks. That seems very reasonable indeed. Joe Camp wants to get paid like an elite starter. I'm sure he probably could be if I let him, but I just love him as a reliever so much that I don't know that I want to do that. But it is a possibility. It is a possibility. Alright. Any big changes here? Nope. Everyone's pitching fairly well. Our starters aren't amazing, but that's alright. Joe is not heating up, and Ernesto Turner has also cooled off a fair bit. Because Aguinaga is so freaking good against right-handed pitching, I want to start playing him against right-handed pitching. I want him to take the place of Ernesto Turner as our hitter that is designated. And then let's do Turner. And then Turner and Turner. And I guess Turner. That seems good. International amateurs. Any truly exceptional players here? Hello, Dante Adame. You seem fucking ridiculous as a hitter. Let's do it. We'll see if he bites. I'm not convinced that he will, but we'll at least see if he bites. If not, I'd love to get a hold of Victor Serrano if he doesn't want to play for me. Victor Serrano would be a very nice choice. Yeah, fuck you, dude. I wanted Serrano anyway. I will give you the max. Come on down, my dude. Alright. The staff is really humming. I don't really feel like replacing anybody. Because I think this is a really good coaching staff, and I just kind of want to keep them together right now. I don't see too much of a value in letting anyone go unless they're just not very good. And I'm going to give all the minor league managers that want one extensions. You can have an extension too, my friend. Yeah, Fujihiro's really talented. I wonder if I'm, like, inadvertently hurting other teams by just, like, not letting good coaches go, but I also don't care. Because, fuck them. Alex Escamilla isn't the best pitching coach. I think it might be time to let him go and promote one of my highly talented rookie pitching coaches and give them an opportunity to be the best version of themselves. Like a Craig Barnes, for instance, would be pretty amazing in that role. An extension for you. Charles Miles isn't necessarily a great hitter, but he's a really great manager, potentially. And so I don't want to let him go, even if I'm not using him to his fullest potential. Because I think he's too important to let go. Look, Robert Gutierrez, I am more than happy to keep you around. That particular league isn't as important to me. Andres Melendez is a perfectly cromulent hitting coach as well. Let's keep him around. And perfect. So yeah, only Alex Escamilla is not getting re-signed, and only that's only because I think there's some other talented people. I mean, I doubt I'll get fired, but I could. I could absolutely get fired at the end of the season. Like, so like, nope, we don't want you anymore. We got Brinkman, amazing. Can you maybe not have so many amazing career achievements against the Pirates? It's starting to feel personal at this point. Good old Kirk Coates. Let's go ahead and get our draft on. Not even gonna look. All players. Okay, I need some really high level pitching talent. And this seems like a great draft for that, so let's take a look at some options here. Michael Broadwater has a really good skill set. He'll be good at stuff, movement, and control. A good fastball, sinker, curveball, slider, changeup mix, all of which could be plus pitches. He's really smart. He doesn't throw as hard as you'd like, but honestly, I think I can stop here. Victor Gutierrez is a bit more limited. No, I'm just going to take Michael Broadwater. I'm not even going to hesitate. Give me Michael Broadwater, please. All right. Mr. Alex Moreno. You're a very, very talented hitter. Like, an actually legitimately talented hitter. I would be more than happy to take you as my second round draft pick. And turn you into a megastar. Who is the very best contact hitter remaining in this draft? Not batting ratings, batting potential. Okay, Moises Sosa has a chance to be truly special. But I think I like Dave Caraballo a little bit better. Yeah, let's get some Dave Caraballo action. Sosa's still here, and I know he's not a very good second baseman. I don't care. Let's get it. Let's get another amazing offensive talent. Let's look at pitching potential. Yeah, there's not a lot left that's truly special. I'll take Ian Hamm just because I don't really have a better choice with my 5th round pick. Now let's just look at the best possible players that are left in the draft. Good defensive player. I like that a lot. But I think Jesus Lopez is a little bit more polished, so I think he's a little bit better choice at this point for us. And then I can get Araujo anyway. Amazing. David Perez is an infielder who might actually hit someday. That is so rare that I'm all over it. I've never been more over anything. Drafting a guy like Bill Swan is a hope. And the hope is that this number means he'll eventually start putting on some serious velocity. Right now, he would be fine, I guess, but not really all that effective. I think he needs a bit of polish, but He doesn't cost me any money, so we'll take him for free, thank you. Oh, that's a third baseman, my guy. That's not a shortstop, but I'll take him anyway. He seems like he is pretty talented. And I think with 10 rounds in the books, we can go ahead and let our scouting director earn his keep and draft the rest of the team. I'm happy to go over slot for an over slot talent, and Broadwater is already just a hugely talented player. We're taking a lot of high school players, and that means that there's a better chance they'll flame out. But since we're only drafting later in the rounds, we're not going to get those premium college guys. They're just not going to be available when we pick. So that's fine. I'm really excited about Broadwater, though, and his abilities. Even if he never puts another tick on his sasshole, he throws so many pitches so well that I think he could be the rarest of rare things for us, a homegrown ace. Which we haven't had in God knows how long. Maybe like frickin'... What's his fucking name? The lefty? I can't think of his name. Nate something. Nate Brooks? Oh no, Nate Brooks is a free agent, wasn't he? Have I ever drafted starting pitching well? Maybe not. Maybe my theories about pitching are just full of shit, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Very possible. Oh, we never looked at the All-Star rosters. Damn, son. Let's take a look here, guys. From Pitt, we have Ty Sims and Joe Camp and Sean Hill and Henry Salgado. That's a pretty good choice for All-Stars. I'm kind of okay with that. Who do we have here? Justin Tufts, Xavier Easton. Nice. All right. It is less than nothing to get excited about. It's bullshit. Don't be fucking stupid. Alright, Sean Hill. Before I make any trade offers, let's chat. You're really grumpy, aren't you? Alright, you know what? This is my final offer. Yeah, you're pissed off. You want that guaranteed year. I fully acknowledge your concerns, and I just have to tell you that you need to stop complaining. I wish your salary demands were a little bit more reasonable, Joe Camp. I really, truly do. Because you are a special player. Very special. But I can't afford to spend $20 million on a reliever. And I don't think I'll have a rotation spot available necessarily. Although I could just reverse your roles and make Mike Grasham into the new Joe Camp. Oh my god. Is that what I'm going to do? I'm not giving him that long a deal, obviously. But what about a 4-year deal with 2 vesting options? No. I'm not paying you $30 million. You're not that good a pitcher. I'll let you test free agency if you want. I don't even care, dude. So. We are perfectly fantastic. Rogelio Aguinaga has really taken off, as I kind of suspected he might. He is taken to the majors like un champ. Yeah, Franklin Verdine is being productive, which is amazing. He is adding those doubles that he really needs to be a great player. Sean Hill, Salgado. Munoz's power is a little bit lighter than I'd prefer. I like him better when he's hitting 30-plus homers, but I'm certainly not going to complain. Manny Pozo's doing fine. The pitching staff is a bit of a concern, especially the starting rotation. And while I'm very happy with how our relievers have done and how great our bullpen is, it seems like we're asking an awful lot of our bullpen. We really truly are asking a lot out of our bullpen. And that gives me lots and lots of concerns. To that end, I wouldn't mind acquiring a young starting pitcher if there is one to find. John, I don't know why you're struggling so much to just take that step. Like, your progress has been extremely incremental so far. Like, extremely incremental. And while there's nothing wrong with that, I'd like to see you really unlock at least one of your offensive talents. Because for a guy who's already 23, you're just not... You're still purely potential at this point. And at some point, I'm going to have to play you in the majors and actually let you get a chance at facing real-life pitching. Because so far what I'm seeing isn't exceptional enough to justify your current position on the team. So, let us, my friends, think about... Okay. Ty Sims is still producing at a very high level. Just because his ERA has spiked doesn't mean he's a worse pitcher. It looks like defense is a real issue for us. Let me take a quick look at something. Because I haven't paid attention to defense in a while. How we do in sports? Yeah, we have a pretty rough outfield. Salgado, Verdine, and Munoz are starting outfield. None of them are brilliant at their positions. That doesn't bother me a huge amount, but it is probably costing us runs. I wish we had at least one great outfielder, but we don't right now. I could move Munoz to hitting DH, because he is clearly the worst of the regular outfielders, besides Verdine. And Verdine is too good to be playing this poorly. I think he just needs regular reps, and he'll be fine. So, actually, Salgado is worse than Munoz, ironically. Is it because Munoz plays in right and not in left, and left's a bit busier? Maybe. Interesting to me. Like, Aguinaga and Ernesto Turner are both perfectly fine outfielders. Turner could also be a first baseman if we needed one, so I'm okay with that too, but... Interesting. For right now, I'm not going to worry about it. I will check to see if anyone is looking to get rid of a top quality pitcher, but the answer is probably going to be no. I mean, I would be all the fuck over Pat Smith if he weren't injured. I think Pat Smith would be a very fine addition to our team. Yvonne Zamora. I don't like the low control. That does give me some pause for concern. Or cause for concern. Why do I keep saying pause for concern? That's not a fucking thing. The only benefit to acquiring, say, a Joe Holmes is the fact that he is still in arbitration, which means I can keep him longer. But I'm not super duper convinced he's a great player, but maybe he is. Maybe I do trade for you. What was his name again? I just lost him. Here you go, Joe Holmes. Vegas, let's wrap. Really? You have a high opinion of your player there, my friend. You're not getting any of those guys. So, jot that down. Justin Tufts could be a pretty good reliever given the opportunity, so I don't want to get rid of him. Julian Williams is like a true two-way player, or at least he could be, so that's why I don't want to give him up either. Damn it, I was hoping you would ask for something a lot easier to give up. What about Juan Camacho? How does that grab you? I don't really want to give up Jeremiah Rhodes, otherwise I'd think about it pretty severely. But yeah, you're asking for players I just don't want to give up. So I think I'm going to have to pass. Like, I'm not giving up an elite prospect for a player who's decidedly not elite. You just aren't elite, so yeah. Like, a 20-year-old starter at a very high level, I will absolutely give up something special for that. But I couldn't help but notice that Spandar Avishon has actually started putting in the work. He might be our rotation salvation, at least in the short term. How did we get Mr. Avishon? We drafted him. Illegal, I thought, but maybe not. I think Mr. Avishon, especially because he's going to be a Rule 5 casualty if we don't add him to the roster, I think there's a very high probability that he will see some time in later on. So I guess the last question is, do we go ahead and trade Ignacio Lopez, who I have no intention of keeping? I think the answer to that question is yes. Can anyone offer me something of interest for Mr. Ignacio Lopez? Why not? Are you being a bitch? Yeah, you're being a bitch. I gave him a no trade clause. That's on me. I could trade Sean Hill. I'm not gonna. I will either sign him in the offseason or I'll just offer him the 1-year deal. But I'm not going to trade him. Because I would be basically killing my hopes of winning a World Series this year. And that's not okay. I'm not going to crash this season just because of a contract dispute with Sean Hill, who's quite frankly being unreasonable. I don't want to give you 7 years, my guy, especially without me having more control over whether or not you stay or not. What I find especially galling is that he's a first baseman, so it's not like he's got all this fucking leverage. Like, oh my gosh, I am the greatest player of all time. If you're hitting like 50 homers a year, then maybe. But the thing is that you haven't been. You've been incredibly good. A very accomplished offensive component, and I think would be a lesser team without you. But that doesn't mean I'm going to hand you a 7-year contract for $30+ million a year. Like, I just don't see that being a smart decision. I don't see that as being a smart decision at all. I see it as being a very stupid decision. And very short-sighted. Joe, what the shit? Just, how hard is it to not get suspended, my guy? Seriously. Oh, every one of my top prospects should be on my short list. I want all the news about them all the time. Let's quickly do an organization check, and let's make sure that all of my top players are on my short list. Cool. That way I can keep an eye on you all. Nice. Right. All right. No big earth-shattering changes. Older pitchers declining a bit. No shock there. Mike Soto is becoming a better player ever so slightly. Aguinaga's getting better. Rhodesman have already peaked at 23. That's not a great look for the team, but okay. Alright. So what do we need the most help at right now? Starting pitcher. That was an easy question. So let's go ahead and promote Mr. Avishon to the Major League roster. You're going to be the new, you're now going to be a long reliever who is going to be avoiding high leverage. You're going to be the new emergency starter long reliever, Mr. Avishon. In addition, I would like to add John Navio back to the roster. And I'm just going to really quickly regenerate depth charts because I'm not going to change the starting lineup, but I want to give... no, that's fine. That's fine. No, thank you. I'm a little surprised that I'm not seeing, Navio's name show up a bit more. But I do want to give him some Major League at-bats and see what he can do at the last month of the season here. Alright. So that's done. Yeah, Homani's just better than Suarez. Okay. At least for now. Cool. Do I want to move? Yes, I do. I'm going to go ahead and bump up Almaguer in the lineup just because Joe has been having such a rough season. Mike Soto 100% needs an everyday role on the team next season. He has shown me nothing in his limited playing time that he cannot handle a bigger role. So I think he's definitely going to get that opportunity next season. How's he doing defensively? Is he embarrassing himself? Not really. You may be my new Sean Hill. If I can't find a quality... If I can't come to terms with Sean Hill, then I think you might get his spot. Because the kind of idea of Pozo... I want Pozo to age out gracefully. He'll probably be mostly a backup next season because Soto's going to get a playing spot every day. This is a question of where. Come on, Pirates. Don't melt down. Like, your whole thing has always been being awesome after the first... Okay, that's annoying. Masakami Fuji. Spandar Avishon, you're getting instantly thrown into the deep end. You're going to be emergency starter, long reliever. Or is he? Fastball, curveball, changeup. Good stuff. Slider, fastball, sinker, curveball. I'm going to let Abishon go ahead and make some starts. But Fuji might actually end up being the better choice. We'll just have to see what happens. Sucks to be you, Juan Camacho. Oh my gosh, no. Don't, Pirates. Be good. Play good. Why are you sucking all of a sudden? Like, this is a very disappointing collapse. When we could have a division title, you're just like, nah. This seems like a great time to start losing games regularly and getting blown out. Like, we're making the playoffs no matter what. I'm not worried about that. But winning the division title would have been huge this season. We would have won literally any other division in Major League Baseball except ours. Which is, frankly, terrifying. Are you fucking joking? Really, game? This is the time you take my promising center fielder and injure him for the rest of the season. You suck. Alright. So I need a new starting center fielder, and I need one stat. I'm going to go ahead and call up Esteban Stoval. I really don't want to play Navio in center. It's Matt Hawkins. I don't trust Navio at all at this stage in his career. Like, Matt Hawkins isn't an amazing center fielder, but he's better than John Navio, which is an indisputable fact. Oh, that timing could not have been worse. Alright, my guy. Give me a team option in year 5. You know what? This is an awful lot of money, but you're a tremendous player having an amazing season. I might regret this, but done. Bring me up to start of the playoffs. Okay, we're currently rocking 25 players. Did Tony Osorio? No, Tony Osorio barely played this season. Who are we not bringing? We're not bringing Ernesto Turner. I think I do want him on the roster, though, is the thing. Let's go ahead and Alvashon to the playoff roster in replace of Navio, because I don't need Stovall. Let's actually remove him from the playoff roster. I don't want him. I want him on the playoff roster. Thank you. That should give me... Yep. There we go. I'm just going to rock a 4-man rotation and let Avishon be the amazing super dude. I could leave Lopez off the roster, but I don't know who I'd put on instead. And then Ernesto Turner gets his spot back. Alright, cool beans. And I gotta play freaking Cincinnati. That's fine, I guess. Cool. And we already lost game 1. Not great. And game 2. Alright, we won 1 game. That's nice. Alright. I'm paying Sean Hill a lot of money. A lot of money. I don't know whether I'm not entirely sure whether he's worth it, but I didn't want to lose him, so here we are. Okay, you know what we're going to do? I don't normally do this, but I think I'm going to go ahead and manage this particular game. What are we looking at time here? We got plenty of time. Alright. Let's freaking go. I'm going to try to manage us into at least the NLDS and see where we can go from there. Yeah, Ty Sims isn't the pitcher he used to be, for damn sure. Oops, I hit the wrong button. There it is. Matt Hawkins, you're here to take pitches. That's what you're best at. Take fucking pitches. Take them all. Each and every pitch. Keep it. Don't give it back to the pitcher. Because you're really good at drawing walks, and I just need you to get on base for guys like Hill and Salgado. That's what's going to take us to the next level. I trust your judgment. Nice. Sean Hill now would be a... Oh, okay. Henry Salgado. Can we make him pay? Yes, we can. Oh, dude. Dude. Oh well. A base running gaff to be sure, but it's also 2 runs, so I'm not that annoyed by it. Maybe I should, like, take Salgado and, like, chew him out. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I wouldn't do that. Alright, Ty Sims. I know you're not the guy you used to be, but I just need you to get me through this game to the best of your abilities. Oh, that'll work. Oh my god. Huamani, what the hell is wrong with you? You never give the other guys bonus outs. You just don't. Pitch around this guy. I do not want to give up a 3-run homer. Damn it, that's going to be a run. Really, dude? Oh my god. Guys, we can't take an incredible opening salvo and then instantly give it right back to them. Yeah, Ty Sims, I'm gonna give... You're on a very short leash today. An incredibly short leash. And yes, that was not your fault. That was because of Huamani's stupid fucking throw. But, like, that's not okay. To just be, like, giving up all that hard contact. Good job, Huamani. That doesn't make up for your bullshit earlier, but I'll take it. What is he? He's actually a really good pitcher, is Weber, so... Or Warner, rather. So that's a little concerning. Come on, Hill. Really? Okay, Sims, you better start getting fucking people out. Because that was an embarrassing inning. Or you're going to be on a very short leash. Like, I know you're not the pitcher you used to be. I get that. But you've got to be able to outwit these guys. Or just give up easy contact to literally everybody. Yeah, Sims, you are on the thinnest of ice this game. There's never been any thinner ice in the history of ice. So you better pitch at a high level. That's another goofy error. Look, it just bounced off his head, which is hilarious, but also doesn't make much sense, but okay. Oh my gosh, guys, come on. I get it, Warner's an amazing pitcher, but you could at least make an effort. Oh my gosh. Nice catch, Salgado. Oh my god, can you stop making stupid mistakes? Don't fucking hit people. Alright, there we go. Oh my gosh. Now you're just gonna flail wildly at every pitch he throws and just look stupid. I don't think that was a strike, but I'm not gonna argue with it. Nice inside-out swing, just didn't do anything. Alright. No hits allowed. That is my goal for this inning. Yeah, he's getting hit pretty hard. He's getting a little lucky in that we've got some pretty outstanding plays in the outfield, but eventually this is going to burn us in the butt. This might actually be it for Sims. I might bring in Avisham if he's available. Yeah, I gotta trust my gut. And my gut says that he is on a very, very... Yeah, let's get Avisham warmed up. Oh my gosh, can everyone stop, like, over-swinging? Oh! We're facing a new pitcher now. Okay. Do I pinch hit Hill for Turner? Hill's been cold as fuck this series. As much as I hate to do this so early, I think I have to. Ernesto Turner, you're in. I gotta do crazy shit if we're gonna have any chance at making to the next round. Like, grounding out to shortstop. Hill definitely couldn't have done that. They walk Salgado. Munoz, please make them pay. Or a wild pitch gets us up to second. That's cool, too. Oh, I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. Oh, you're staying at first base, Turner. Okay, Edgar Lujan is a pretty terrible hitter, so I feel okay letting Sims face him. And now we bring in Avisham to face the more difficult hitter. Nicely done. I don't like you only threw fastballs, but I get it. You're trying to get your shit together. Okay, walking the next guy isn't a great look. And there we go. I need one more inning from you guys, and if you would be the amazing sausages I know you can be, if I can get one inning from Avisham, then we'll start going into the bullpen. Oh my fucking god, would you stop it? Stop it! Stop. Ugh, I want to punch people really hard right now. Mike Soto, you're in. That's twice. That is fucking twice that slow-ass players decide, I'm gonna take the extra base. Take what you can get. Stop being so damn greedy. And Soto got under that. The mental mistakes are really disappointing at this point. They're extremely disappointing. Why on earth did Aguinaga do that? I don't fucking know, but I am not happy with him. even a little bit. Alright. Come on, my guy. Guys, can you not maybe just not walk as many people? Like, control's what you're meant to be good at. Because eventually they'll make us pay. Alright. That's it for you. Is Joe Camp rested? He is not super duper rested, so I'm gonna go ahead and warm up. See, it's the 7th inning. And I'm facing right switch right, so definitely want a righty in. Let's go and warm up Jose Brown. No, Sal Rada was actually one of the better pitchers we've had this season. Come on, Joe. Okay. Fucking Joe cranking a homer is not something I would have anticipated, but I'm here for it. I want more of it. Nicely done. Come on, Hawkins. Aww. Okay. Turner gets some nice contact. We don't make a stupid base running mistake. I love it. And now you have to pitch to Salgado. But he doesn't make you pay. I wish he did, but he didn't. Come on, Munoz. Get us some insurance, please. That's not insurance. That's a weak fly ball to short. I will not be singing. So Rada's gonna come in. Oh my... What is with the horrible, horrible mistakes? Like, constantly. Alright, you made up for it. You made up for it, team. Good job. That was gross. That was like the easiest hit he's ever had in his career, wasn't it? Please control Cervantes, please. A walk? Oh, a strike. And he's out of the game. Do I bring in Joe Camp? I can't. He's too damn tired. We saw with Mesquita. I'm going to go and warm up Julian. And I'm going to warm up Osorio. You know what would be amazing if you guys could maybe get us another run? That would be dope as fuck. Nope, that's an out. Damn it. All the way to the warning track, but not good enough. Also not good enough. We're hitting the ball hard, it's just right at people. I do. No, I don't. What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about my pitcher. Yes, 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 yes. Julian, get in there. Please get him out, my friend. You are here only for one batter. And you did your job. Well done. What? Can I not bring him in? Or... Oh, we've got that stupid rule. Okay. I didn't realize that. I thought that was disabled in our sim. Oh dear. Oh, I knew that. I suspected it. I didn't pay attention. And we might... Oh my god. Really? Yeah, bring in Osorio. I don't want Julian facing Salo. Yeah, they have to face 3 batters. Okay. Alright. A perfectly normal day at the baseball stadium. Wouldn't that have been crazy as shit if Joe would have hit 2 home runs in 1 game? That would have been pretty bonkers. But instead, we all flail helplessly. Alright, get in there, Tinch. Haha. A nice strikeout for Tinch. And can we get Lujan out as well? Okay. We made it into the next round. Great job, everyone. No notes. Except maybe Ty Sims doesn't get to pitch as a starter anymore. I haven't decided that for sure yet, but I am definitely not convinced that he can handle things anymore. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave Sims in, but I'm gonna change things up a bit so that Sims pitches less often. Because I mean, Ty Sims had a pretty good season, but it wasn't brilliant. And he's definitely giving up a lot of really soft contact, so I don't really want him to be in a big situation if I can avoid it. I will also shift to a 5-man rotation and go ahead and put Abishan into the rotation in case I need a 5th person. So, Brinkman gets a victory. Excellent. Then we lose 1-0. Then we lose 7-3. And then we get eliminated because we just stopped hitting. That's alright. I still think it's bullshit we didn't win the division title, but the truth of the matter is we didn't have the pitching. We did not have the top flight starting pitching that you need to be a successful playoff team. Stop me if you've heard this before. Oh boy, now we get Jesus Calderon back. I am utterly joyful. Jerk. We had 4 teams make the playoffs from Essential. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, we desperately need better starting pitching. Like, really, really badly. Because what we have is we have a bunch of good pitchers. We have a bunch of great pitchers. So we definitely need to change something pretty drastic. Next season. Oh, thank you for this wonderful news. I'm overjoyed. No, I'm not. Of course, fucking Victor Rios instantly becomes the pitcher that he never did for us. Alright. So we got a retirement. We will deal with that here shortly. Yeah, I am not pleased with how our pitching staff performed this season. It's so hard to develop young starting pitchers that are of high quality that I'm overpaying for veteran pitchers. And when it works out, like with Tommy McDonald or early Ty Sims, it's amazing. The problem is it doesn't always work out. And that is the problem. I just can't develop pitching. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm making bad choices. I'm just not making enough picks. But for whatever reason, I can print hitters of a high caliber without having to worry about it. I just can't for the pitching staff. Good for Tony Osorio. Yep. Jose Brown, I'm not going to pay you $9 million to be an average reliever. I feel like I can get that for a lot cheaper, so I'm going to avoid that contract year. We get Tinch back, which is nice, but we also get stuck with Sims for another season, which is not as nice. Here's to another 41 years. I get a new team owner. Let's check out his... Oh, a bunch of people just retired. How long have I been extended for? 5 years. Brilliant. Alright, so what's my owner's new deal? He is understanding, charitable with his finances, and he is overwhelmingly happy with me. You want me to bring Joe Camp back? My problem is that Joe Camp wants $24 million to be a starting pitcher. I feel like that's a bad investment of funds, so as much as I hate to piss off, as much as I hate to make the new owner crabby, I'm not going to do that. I will offer Joe Camp a qualifying offer, though, and I will go ahead and give Julio Mifflin... really? I mean, you pitched fairly well. I feel like I would be... I think I'm just going to give you a one-year deal, my guy. I'm not going to give you that long a deal yet. Not until you've proven yourself a bit more. Alright. No, I don't think so for either one of you. I think you can both leave and I'll be none the worse. I do want to try to keep Joe Camp if I can, and maybe even give him a rotation spot. I just don't want to pay him that much money when he hasn't started regularly in a long time. So let's talk about what went well and what didn't go well this season. Ty Sims was the best pitcher we had, but showed very, very clear weaknesses. Mike Brinkman and Julio Mifflin were both pretty solid. Our relievers were phenomenal. Mike Grasham was a bit disappointing. And then Jesus Calderon was injured. So, all that together means that we need a big infusion of pitching talent. And while, yes, Ty Sims was the best pitcher on our staff, he's getting paid $30 million. Needs to be better than the best pitcher on my staff. He needs to be amazing. So, can I get literally anything for Ty Sims? Probably not. I'm going to wait till the next season, though. So, let's make some coaching decisions. First things first, I do have a new vacancy at third base. And Audrey Acosta is a pitching coach. He's not really a manager. Okay. Wow. I have to replace literally everybody. Okay, cool. Giancarlo Soto would be fine as a third base coach, I think. Let's do it. Our new AA manager is going to be Hayden Jones. No, wait. Isn't Gene Kelly like the amazing... No, he's just a really good hitting coach. He's not really a manager. So Hayden Jones gets promoted. Alright. Charlie Miles is a really good overall manager. I'm going to give him the big bump and promote him to high A manager. Eric Basabe is really a pitching coach. I'm just going to let him be the pitching coach in low A. Craig Barnes could use a new job, but unfortunately I only have one pitching coach. So Robert Gutierrez is nothing special. Omar Lopez is an amazing pitching coach. Andres Melendez is a perfectly cromulent hitting coach, so I'm going to go ahead and promote him to be the hitting coach. Solomon McGuire, I'm going to promote you and make you the new manager of Class A Bradenton. Alright, so let's get a new manager. Josh Dameron seems like he would be a good choice to be our new manager. We need a new hitting coach. Let's go ahead and grab Juan Sosa. Our other hitting coach will be... No, I want you to be the manager of this team instead. And then you can be the hitting coach at there. Okay. So, what do we need to do next season? Most critically, we need to improve the rotation. We need to improve it quite badly. That was our big weakness this season. Let's look at the lineup, though. I've already looked at the rotation, and we had the sad times. So Sean Hill turned in a career year and got paid for it. Am I still concerned about the size of this contract? I am. But I'm willing to take a bit of a risk on him. Henry Salgado, once again, was sensational. I love everything about him. More Salgado, please. Jordan Munoz was a very capable cleanup guy. I'm a little concerned that some of his homers turned into doubles, but I am willing to keep him around and see if he can improve. Before he got hurt, Franklin Verdeen had a very nice season. And while I still am not totally convinced that he's going to be a dominating center fielder, he did get better as the season continued. All my hair just keeps being productive. Like, every season, I have very minimal expectations of him, and he keeps exceeding them. All that being said, he did have that obvious goof, but he's a really good defensive second baseman. I'm very proud to have him on the team and keeping him around. Mike Soto is starting at third base next year. It is beyond time for him to get a full-fledged opportunity to make an impact at the big league level. He's already been very, very productive in a fairly short period, but I want him to get every opportunity to be the player that I think he can be. Alex Wamani was fine defensively, except again when it came to the playoffs. Joe did bounce back, but he was still significantly worse than he's been in years past. That does cause me some concern. Manny Pozo is not a starter anymore. For all of the tremendous memories and the lovely things he's done for this franchise, he's no longer a starting third baseman. He just isn't anymore. He did crack 90 wins above replacement. He did crack 418 home runs, 3,094 hits. He's been an amazing player, and this is just going to be his last season, and he's not going to be starting. He's going to be on the bench. Aguinaga and Ernesto Turner both turned in pretty solid offensive performances. Nobody was actively bad, but the lineup wasn't the problem. The problem was the pitching staff. If we had better starters and maybe a little bit more depth at outfielder, I am entirely convinced that we would have made the NLCS at a minimum. But first things first, Ty Sims has to go. That is my number one project for this offseason. We have to be rid of Ty Sims. Whatever his talents may be, they're gone. We need to move on from him and find better pitching. We have Mike Brinkman coming back at a pretty low salary, so I can do something interesting with him, perhaps. Joe Camp is going to get offered the 1-year deal. If he doesn't take it, I want to see what kind of price he fetches on the open market, because I genuinely don't think he's going to get as much money as he thinks he deserves. Mike Tinch has been a tremendous pitcher for a very long time. I'd probably want to get him extended for at least another 2 or 3 seasons. Hill is locked up. Salgado is locked up. There's nobody else at this moment who's reaching that tier where I need to be like, oh god, I have to keep him or we're doomed. So yeah. If I can get rid of Ty Sims, I will be over the moon. I will be truly, truly pleased and ready to let him find a new team. Because otherwise, he's not starting for me anymore. Like, I know, 4 wins above replacement, yada, yada, yada. He got hit hard this season. And much more concerning is he just dropped a whole bunch of velocity. He was at 92 miles an hour last offseason and dripped to 89. And unlike most starting pitchers, at that age, he hasn't gotten craftier. It seems like he's still trying to pitch the same level of pitches. And he's just not that good anymore. He's a guy who lives off his cutter, but isn't cutting anymore. So all that being said, we need to find a new starting pitcher to really take us back to the promised land. We have Mike Grasham for a while longer, and he had a pretty solid season. I'm curious to see how he continues to improve, or at least stays the same. A low-key brilliant signing might have been getting Calderon, because he's going to have to play an outsized role as well. So, I need starting pitching quite badly. I could use... Am I in the market for a catcher? Not yet. But I was deeply unimpressed by Joe's overall performance this season. And while, yes, I'm not paying him very much, that definitely was a bit of an issue. Huamani has given me 3 consecutive seasons of the exact same performance. He's a decent defensive shortstop who doesn't hit that well. He's 25. He's not going to get any better. This might be the season to just let Freddie Suarez take over at shortstop. Because it's like Huamani is good. Suarez is transcendent. If I'm only going to be carrying a guy for the defense, I want him to be amazing at defense. He's also a captain, which doesn't hurt. So maybe this is the year that Huamani takes a back seat. Tony Laguerre. I probably need to commit to Navio for at least part of the season. I need to find out if there's anything worthwhile keeping him for a bigger role. Whether that's taking over one of the outfield spots, letting Munoz or Salgado shift to DH full time, whether that's just taking Turner's place on the roster, I don't know. But if we don't let Navio hit in the big leagues, we're never going to know if he can break through. Manny Pozo's going to shift to being first base, third base, and then an occasional defensive replacement. Almahuer wants a very tiny raise. I'm just not convinced he's worth it just yet. But I will be curious to see how he can do. But let's close the episode by just making a point. Notice where my hitters came from. 2055 5th round draft pick. My guy. An international free agent. Draft pick. International free agent. My draft pick. Trade. International free agent signing. Trade. Draft pick. Originally my draft pick. International free agent signing. And draft pick. Every single one of these players, for the most part, was drafted by me. And I'm also counting Matt Hawkins because I initially drafted him. Oh, no, I didn't. He was a trade. Never mind. So he doesn't count, but the rest of them do count. So all of our best players were drafted or acquired through international free agent signings, which means I still developed them. Like, Manny Pozo is the major leaguer he is today because I developed him. Not because of a big acquisition from somewhere else. Now let's check out the pitching staff. And we're going to notice a very different tale. We have 2 draft picks currently on the roster. Both of them were just added this year. Masakimi Fuji and Spandar Abisham. Trade, free agent, trade, free agent, trade, free agent, trade. I am not developing pitching. Not at all. I am not developing pitching. I'm good at recognizing when other people have it, but I am not good at making it myself. And that is our biggest problem as a franchise. We cannot develop homegrown pitching that sticks. Not even in the bullpen. 2 draft picks on this roster. 2. That's it. That is not a recipe for sustained, brilliant long-term success. Now you may say, but Avi, you've won multiple World Series and you go to the playoffs every year. Clearly you're doing something right. Maybe. But I just think we need to start drafting a lot more intelligently and maybe not giving up on our pitchers so much. Do I want to put Juan Camacho on the 40-man? I don't think so. I'll have a good hard think about this next episode. But if there is any consolation, it is that we still have some pretty incredible, really young talent that might turn out to be even more special. Becerra did badly struggle in A-ball. So I think he needs a bit more seasoning. Michael Broadwater struggled too. Xavier Easton struggled. So a lot of even our top tier prospects aren't as good as they could be. That's whatever. We have a very, very good team. And I'm happy that they're all performing at a high level. But we just cannot make our own pitching talent. And that's what's keeping us from being the best version of ourselves. So that's got to be something we start to change somehow. Whether it's just accepting the fact we'll never be good at it, or whether that's changing something about our approach. Is there anything else I want to do this episode? I don't think so. So, my friends, I hope you enjoyed the episode, despite the somewhat troublesome ending. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below about ways you can make the team better. Let me know what you think about Sean Hill's deal. I am curious, to say the least, what people think about it. I need to get Sean Hill lower in the lineup, though. Like, those 36 homers most of them are probably solo shots. Not all of them, but a fair few of them. I'd love to get him lower in the lineup. Like, do Sean Hill batting cleanup behind Salgado would be pretty dope. But anyway, that's for next episode. Until then, this has been Amp Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you